Who else going to a Hetero Awesome Fest? Can I express a sincere desire? Obviously, Hetero Awesome Fest is being put on by fascies, and we don't support that. I will say though that there's two ways to handle this as a community, because no one's going to show up to this like sincerely, right? Everyone's going to be here as a bit. There are two ways to handle it. One of them is that you protest against it, and the other one is that queer people show up as allies to the straight cause. And that's what I want to see happen, okay? I want to see a bunch of flaming homosexuals, just the queeniest queens, go to Hetero Awesome Fest and sincerely, and I mean this, like not be a bitch about it, but I mean like really go and be a good ally. Because I think that would make for good television. It would be pretty tough for folks to get mad about it too, you know? Try to make a culture war dynamic out of that. Bunch of queens running around talking about how they think pussy is gross, but they support your right to touch it if you want. Do you think they could show solidarity by trying to dress straight but like badly, you know? Like, you know how you wear the mesh crop tops at Pride? So for Hetero Awesome Fest, you wear like ill-fitting polyester polo shirts and like stretch chinos that end 2 inches above the ankle and slip down whenever you bend over to pick something up. I feel like you could do something with this. Cargo shorts and slides with socks on it. Yeah, the shorts are too long. They don't fit properly. Yeah. And it's not even like nice crew socks. They're like boot socks. Yeah, for sure. There's real like meat on this bone. You know? Hetero Awesome Fest. Inspired by the restaurant's inaugural Heterosexual Awesomeness Month. Reddit-controlled bar. Held last June in response to Pride celebrations. June 20th and June 21st in Cecil D. Andrus Park. Okay. It'll feature live music, speakers who are on the front lines defending traditional family values, and local food and drink vendors, according to a social media video promoting the event. Well, hold on. Okay, hold on. Battle lines. The battle lines of Heterosexual Awesomeness Incorporated, at Hetero Awesome, are the unyielding front where we plant our... sorry, Freudian slip. Our flag for family, truth, and liberty. No retreat, no surrender. We're slugging it out against the gutless enemies of traditional values. Abortion's life-crushing lies, socialism's family-choking leash, big pharma's pill-pushing scams, and the LGBTQ plus agenda's anti-kin chaos, to name a few. From exposing human trafficking's evil to torching woke indoctrination in schools, we've got 7 non-negotiable stands, each one a hill we'll die on to protect the sacred core of family. This is where we fight and where we win, armed with grit and God's design. Man, I really wish there was audio. It would be AI? Yeah, maybe. Dude, isn't it crazy that, like, right-wing heterosexual grifters look like that now? I can't rewind because Instagram's terrible on desktop. Did you see that guy? The guy with the man bun and the mustache? See, this is heterosexual. That's heterosexual. This is because my man over here is wearing a V-neck in the year of our Lord, 2025. They're just a decade behind. Dye Workwear has talked about this a lot, but it is very funny how all of the masculine culture grifters do dress like the metrosexuals of the 2010s. Like, Andrew Tate essentially wears women's clothes. That's not a joke. He wears, like, stretch fabric, unlined pantsuit tops, and ultra-tight pants. Like, none of this would have been considered acceptable even recently. Even 10 or 15 years ago for, like, manly men to dress like that. You get me. There we go. We got him again. No more bailouts. Artisan vendors. Family-owned businesses. Okay, they're just replaying the same video segments, whatever. Can you start the kink at Hetero Awesome Fest discourse? Yeah, you know what? I think that the male leading the household dynamics are essentially just kink posting dressed up as religious compet normality, okay? When people are like, the man's the captain and the woman's the first mate and the man leads the ship, you are kink posting. You're unironically, like, all this crap about like breeding, you know, and you know, barefoot and pregnant, man leads the household. I see you for what you are, okay? The difference is that the gay people, when they talk about this crap, they know what they're doing. You're the one talking about it around like kids and pretending it's not kink, okay? Does this video have audio? We'll never find out. Come on. Instagram. Okay, wait. This also isn't play. Why is there no audio? Why? It's not that the site's muted. So I guess there was supposed to be audio in the last video. Hey! See, I really want audio on this. Is the volume just really low? I don't... Dude, it's Instagram on desktop. What do you want from me? Is your desktop audio on? Yes. Maybe the tab's muted? Nope. Check other tab YouTube. I promise you the audio is generally working. We just looked at a video link.
A bar owner in Idaho plans to celebrate heterosexuality in the middle of Pride Month.
This is from Straight Arrow News.
Mark Fitzpatrick, the owner of Old State Saloon near Boise, says his Pride Month-inspired two-day festival on June 20th through the 21st, dubbed Hetero Awesome Fest, is set to be held across the street from a local park near the state capitol. The event has its own Instagram page.
I was thinking to myself, what can we do to celebrate in June that would be different than what's going on downtown, that would be different than what Pride has been celebrating every June? What if we celebrated God's design for sexuality? What would that look like?
It really is remarkable how incapable reactionaries are of producing their own culture. Everything they make is done in reaction to the actual, like, avant-garde of art. Pride produces culture? Oh, well, we'll do our own Pride. It'll be worse and boring and no one will care about it. You know? They don't actually have any designs for, you know, the celebration of life. The funny thing is, by the way, that if you actually wanted to celebrate God, for one, basically every culture on Earth does that multiple times a year, depending on their religion. There's like holidays for that. That's already a thing, right? And if you want to celebrate life, that's also like pretty socially acceptable, I feel. Dude, if we want, by the way, if we wanted like a national holiday dedicated to the concept of life and natalism, I think that'd be cool. Honest to God, that doesn't have to be fascist shit at all. It's literally, folks, I'm sorry for being a fascist. It's literally life, okay? If you wanted to do some like pagan-esque, you know, like, yeehaw, look at this miracle that we all get to enjoy sort of thing, I got fucking, you know, whatever. The Christians can come over and they can be like, yeah, this is a Christian thing, and the Muslims can do the same, and the Jews and the Hindus. I don't care. You know, I don't have a problem with that. Obviously, this is just meant as a, like, well, we're gonna have our own Pride with, you know, no hookers, and no gambling, and no strip clubs, and no fun kind of deal.
And within a few seconds, I thought, man, heterosexuality is awesome.
Fitzpatrick says his...
And the fucked up thing is that, like, in a good world, there would be no reason for straight culture, whatever the fuck that means, to be this cringe. I'd say, like, I feel like you're doing the whole thing a disservice, man. Hetero Awesome Fest? Jesus Christ.
This festival is meant to give people an alternative to Pride Month celebrations. The move follows Fitzpatrick's Heterosexual Awareness Month last year. He says his aim is not for hate or to target any group. He says he decided to create...
It's shit like this. Like, if you wanted to celebrate the concept of marriage or having kids or whatever, like, there's a million things you could do that you could actually derive some kind of social meaning from. Heterosexual Awareness Month? But it's because of people like you that heterosexuals don't have culture that's talked about, right? It's because it's accepted as the norm. It's really difficult to make culture out of something when it's accepted to be the default, you know? It's like cisgender culture isn't really a thing, even though cisgender people produce by far the vast majority of culture just by sheer numbers, because cisgender people don't even like being referred to as cisgender. It's still considered a slur on Twitter, you know? Like the ability to produce culture comes from a kind of like social self-recognition. You need to identify with it, right? So if you think of it as the default, if you think of it as like the only right way to exist, you can't actually be a cultural force as that group. You know what I mean? This is one of the reasons people say that white culture isn't really a thing. It's not that white people don't produce culture. They do. In huge droves, right? White people have produced a ton of cool shit, in my opinion, you know? It's that as a group, anytime anyone's like, you know what? I'm doing this for white people, they then produce, like, lame shit. Every time, you know somebody is about to post coal when they open up with that, you know? White guy has an idea, I'm awake. White guy says, I have an idea for white people, I asleep. Not good.
Hetero Awesome Fest after he was unable to take his daughter into downtown Boise last year because of Pride events taking place.
The Heterosexual Awesomeness Festival is coming to Boise. This isn't just another festival. It's a movement, a celebration of faith, family, and freedom right in the heart of Idaho.
Pride Month organizers, however, have not held events in June in Boise since 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you. Thank you, Straight Arrow News. I didn't know that. That adds so much to this. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. It's all imagined all the time. This guy only bought the bar 2 years ago. It's all a fake grievance. Like, if it's not even being inspired by anything, why not just like do a heterosexual thing? I don't know. Why not fuck a woman and be happy about it? Can you get it up? I don't know. It's really weird.
And opting for better weather by moving celebrations to September. Critics note, while his intention may not be hate, his bar's social media page says there's no shame in speaking the truth. The LGBTQ agenda is wicked, perverse, and victimizes children or their exposure to inappropriate content. When asked about Hetero Awesome Fest, Boise Pride says it has no official statement regarding this year's event, but told organizers best of luck with their new festival.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Best possible answer. Best possible answer. All right. All right, you goofballs.